here I'm going to touch briefly on photographs, because that is something I do need to include in my videos, because I think a big aspect of these videos for me is that I have all these games. Like I have not just every Simpsons game, but every version of every Simpsons game. So here, for example, here's a photo I took. And I actually I purchased a light box. You can look that up. It's basically just a big box with a blank surface and reflective surfaces that help to take better photos. So far, I am not. I think the photos they still need to be touched up. So the photos aren't great out of the box. Maybe that's just what photography is. Again, I'm not an expert on most of these things, so I end up with something like what you see here, which is I put the objects in the light box, took the photo, and now I have to work with this. Um, but yeah, I do like to show the physical aspect of these games when they are a physical version, because I think it's cool. So I have this photo that I'm going to include in the video for the ZX Spectrum, and you can see this is going to go in a video. So something I do, I don't know again if it's really necessary. I open another window in Photoshop. And in case it wasn't clear, that is the program I'm using. It's Photoshop, something I'm pretty familiar with, and you'll find a ton of information on Photoshop. But I don't even think you need this program in particular. There's lots of other programs that achieve the same thing, basically. But so yeah, I create a new window or new canvas. This is sized for an 1080p video, and that's just kind of my background for now. So I have this photo I need to touch up, and I don't do a whole lot. I just you can see it's kind of grayed out on the edges, which is weird. I prefer to have a white background on the photos I show in the videos. So here I go to adjust image, adjustments, levels. Let's see, and then I just crank up the levels right around to where you can see here that there's a peak, and that's about where I stop, because if you go too far, it washes it out. So I grab this right handle here. I just adjust the level, the brightness basically. I just up the brightness. That's all I'm doing. And now it looks better. It kind of still does some washing out effect on the photo or the subject of the photo, but I think it's a fair trade-off for me. I'm happy to do the trade-off, get the white background very quickly, um, and there you go. That element is all set. Um, I then drag that into my other canvas. You can see here, because I'm taking photos with my phone, and it is set to HDR mode. HDR just means higher resolution. So I do need to scale the image a little bit. Um, you can see I did that incorrectly. I was supposed to hold Shift to maintain uh, the the aspect ratio. Hold Shift, then click and drag. There you go. But yeah, this is really just resizing that photo I just took. Let's see here. That looks pretty good. You don't want it to fill up too much. But yeah, you do that. Let's see. Let's double check. Sometimes you still need to kind of erase things. I use this big eraser here. I hold Shift and then hit the brackets to kind of increase or decrease the softness of it. And then I just kind of touch it up a little bit. So right now, it's hard to tell. Let me see. If you erase this layer, or disable the layer, you can see I'm erasing basically, just kind of softening the edges of this thing. So there's the hard edges aren't visible, which I don't think they were anyway. But yeah. And again, I feel like anyone who's more of an expert in Photoshop or photo adjustment might tell me this is a bad way to do it, but whatever. So there you go. I kind of like fudged around the edges a little bit. Then I'm going to re-enable this layer, and there you go. Good enough for me. So yeah, that's it. That's really it. Just any photos that I need to include in the video. This is how I'll go about it. I'll take my photographs, bring them into Photoshop, uh, adj- adjust them a bit, just so the backgrounds are what I want to achieve, and they look good enough for the videos, which I think this looks fine. And then that's that step. So once all the photos are done, then I can move on to the next step.